I've noticed lately, actually in the last couple of years, more and more information has been coming out about things like the fall of the towers, false flag kinds of events, Illuminati, elites, Big Brother, and all the information or all the comments that people are making are about how the rich and the elite are trying to take over the world. They want absolute power over everything. And I can see why people would be quick to jump on that. People with a lot of money have a lot of power. They have a lot of influence, and they can make your life fairly miserable if they choose to. I'm not exactly sure that I can fully buy that the elite Illuminati are the ones that are doing all this Big Brother activity. And a question I ask myself is, if I was a multi-billionaire sitting around my mansion, my 007 lair, or what have you, what would I want to do with all that money and time? And I've never said, gosh, I want to enslave the world. I've never thought to myself, wouldn't it be great if I had control over everything and I could fuck with people? Well, maybe a little bit, but not too much. That's not what I would do with my money. I personally would want to do good, or at least what I thought was good. A lot of people I hear on, especially YouTube and movies like Endgame, Alex Jones, who I think is part of the problem. I think he's part of it. He's not helping. His kind of crap is not helping. But they're saying how inhuman the rich and elite are. And I would have to remind you that they're not inhuman. They are exactly human. They're not aliens from another planet, contrary to what some people would have you believe. I don't think it's the wealthy elite that we have to worry about, necessarily. Well, not all of them, and some of them could be evil bastards. But it's more, I believe, the little people, like you and me, the average everyday citizen. Take an example of, for me, like the mother that loses a son in a car accident. She's upset, and it was a hit and run, and they don't have any leads whatsoever. There's no witnesses. So what does the mother petition to have done? Have cameras put on the intersections. A good idea, I think, largely, because you can see what's going on. You can see when there's an accident, you can go back and see who did it and what was the cause of the accident. Conspiracy theorists, and they're not all crazy. I mean, there are some conspiracies going around, but on accident. But conspiracy theorists would have you believe that it was all planned and engineered for cameras to be everywhere so that they could see and take over the world. So they'll know exactly what you do, and then they can control your every thought and every action, and they can come down on you when you're doing something they feel is wrong. It's not the elite. They don't give a damn what you're doing in your private life. They're doing other stuff. If I was the wealthy elite, I wouldn't care what you're doing in your front yard, your bedroom, as long as you're not doing it in mine. It's the mothers that lose their son. It's the church pastor that wants to see in the bathrooms, and you can always see where that's going. It's the store owner that wants to see what their patrons are doing. It's the manufacturers that want to see where their product is going and who's using it. It's not the wealthy elite. It's the little people at the bottom that want to have more power and more control. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I also don't think that there's a giant conspiracy of Illuminati sitting around a big table in a shadowy room planning to take over the world or make a one-world government. I don't think anybody really wants that. They're talking about joining forces. Sure, there's probably some elite politicians that would love to have the American continent all one, because there's always the crazy warlord that wants to take over the world. There's always been that, and you have to watch out for it. That's why we have Congress and Senate and checks and balances. Not that I think that's the best way either, but it's a help. I just don't think it's the Illuminati trying to take over the world. It just doesn't make sense. Maybe I'm wrong.